never a week together under the same roof. What a wonderful time we had.
What a blessing, huh? And especially on Holi. I'm here, I haven't had Holi in 35 years I've been in America now, right?
Yes.
And I haven't had Holi. The first time here, yeah? So I feel nostalgic. And being with my brother, I mean, I've seen you in all the different stages of life. And so blessed to see where you are today and what you are doing. Remarkable, Praji. Well done.
Thank you, brother.
But tell me, I remember those days when you got the land. Yeah?
Yes.
And that time your passion for planting trees. Whoever thought this would come up here, yeah?
2.5 lakh plus trees and plants,
Is that what you did?
It is. And 500,000 liters of recycled water, they call it wastewater sometimes, being used to irrigate all my plants every day.
I have been to over 120 countries. I visited almost every community. I can honestly say I haven't felt this kind of a place anywhere. Anywhere, really. I would come here at the drop of a hat any time.
What makes it special? The couple of rituals we have. Morning, the staff, visitors, family, face the rising sun, fold your hands, energy balancing as Sadhguru says, and acknowledging to the sun god the fact that we are solar powered, the whole universe is. Sing one of the prayer songs. Family that eats together stays together. Family that prays together stays bonded and connected more. We laugh together.
Yeah.
We do the national anthem every evening. So these three rituals, what positive vibes. People, the visitors tell us. It's really amazing. Every day, I can't wait to wake up, you see.
I see that. But what I remember, I met all the world's leaders and seeing that. And I have seen how one of the biggest obstacles in people's life is ego. I knew the year when you became the highest taxpayer of the country at age 28. And look at the course you took. You are even humbler now than you were then. And what you have accomplished. That itself is a unique model to me of responsible leadership.
Well, that was youth. I remember the day, one day, I bought 7 foreign cars.
I remember that.
And now, I drive a modest 5-year-old Creta. Love it. It's functional. Times change.
Yeah.
I've been flowing along.
Yeah, but here I'm walked around the whole property now. And to imagine that how much thought went into each aspect. Tell me a little bit more here. I want to learn much more about every aspect of karma.
See, we decided a couple of things. First was, we want to create a conscious community. Whether people come here as tourists on a short 1 day, 2 days stay or something, or they choose to live here. And a couple of things. You drive into the campus, at the gate, the guards respond to sight, not sound. If you honk, they're supposed to take more time in responding. No litter, no extra noises, staff amongst themselves talk in whispered tones. A kind of an ashram energy, a kind of a spiritual vibe to the place, because the dominant sound should be the birds chirping, the little water cascade, and not loud, various conversations by us, staff especially. Visitors we cannot fully control, staff we can. So these are things that have made us really a real positive vibes, throbbing, gated community of villas around the golf course.
What I find absolutely unique here is, the amount of pollution in Delhi. I mean, today, what's the population of Delhi? They say 100 million or something in the National Capital Region. Mind-boggling itself, right? And then you step out of the premises and you see the trash and dirt here, and you come inside and you are looking, can I find a piece of paper anywhere? Can I find a piece of cigarette stub anywhere? And you don't see anything here. So how is this possible in India?
You know what? every staff member, top CEO, the COO, the GM, down to the man who cleans, we have a routine. In a day, at least one bending exercise. Pick up some piece of trash from wherever and put it in the bin. Everybody carries a badge. I am for Swachh Bharat. I often remind them, ask them, does it say Swachh Karmali Cleanse or Swachh Bharat? Our area of influence, our homes, not just Karmali Cleanse, we have to keep them litter free. We've achieved great success, I would say 80-90%, still not 100. Reason? India is full of Indians. A sea of irresponsible humanity. We have all kinds of visitors, we have vendors, we have contractors, people coming and working. Entire staff, top to bottom, has to pick up one piece of garbage and put it in the bin. Does it stop at one? When it begins? Not at all.
Yeah.
And there's no cursing a person who must have littered here. You're just doing your bending exercise.
Yeah.
Positive energy.
Yeah.
That's the hallmark of the place.
No, what you say is it doesn't take more than one person to begin something. Okay? And let that become infectious, that people say, that's the lifestyle I want to emulate. And I think that's what you're training here. What I have found personally, I get some asthmatic allergies. The moment I come to Delhi, I land, I have to get my inhaler. Here, I'm feeling different here, totally different. I'm sleeping so well. The area place is so blissful. What have you created here? How did you do that here?
Two things. 250,000 plus trees and plants, lots of oxygen being produced. Another, your bedroom.
Yeah.
It has the IQ air purifier, a Swiss product. That's the only one I have known of which fixes not just the air quality index, but the indoor oxygen levels. Did you notice there's a hole in the wall and a duct that pulls through that hole, fresh air, cleans it online and puts it in your room, clearing out all allergens, pollutants, nanoparticles in the air of dust, PM 2.5, everything is being fixed. My son-in-law from Mumbai used to sneeze 100 times when he woke up early morning. Once this machine was got into his room, now he doesn't sneeze. So you're not having any problems with your allergies and your asthmatic attacks, despite being in the world's most polluted NCR, the city. The credit goes to the plants and the purifier.
But I think in addition to that, I see even outdoors here is much more conducive to a healthier lifestyle living than in Delhi.
The best we could get with the limitations, we have it. Not enough though. That's why we have to do your indoor air fixing as well. Now, can you imagine Shobha developers developing 4 million square feet of residential? It will be our promise that we will give you Swiss standards air quality, both in terms of air quality index and indoor oxygen levels. So, unfortunately, we have to do both, not just plants. No, and you're enjoying both right now in your room.
Absolutely. And what I found was also, I remember that I was, oh my God, it's what, 35 years ago I left India. I remember the water table was already going rapidly down, you couldn't find water. And then here I see everything lush, green, all doing very well.
500,000 liters of recycled water being used every day. Did you visit our sacred forest, the Devakad?
Hey.
Can you imagine we taking recycled water from the neighboring gated community? Their apartments, the recycled water comes in here because sewage lines have not reached there.
Yeah.
They used to dispose of on tankers the treated sewage till we requested them to pump it into our place. It's now going into the forest. In 2.5 years, the Devakad sacred forest has trees which are 25 feet high. Fresh groundwater versus recycled water. You cannot imagine how recycled water does magic to the health of plant life.
But also I see the golf course. For instance, we know in America how much water is wasted on a golf course.
You know, we are aware that overeating increases the consumption of our medicines and visits to our doctors, isn't it?
Yeah.
It applies to the plants as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you overwater, which I have seen in at least 70 to 80% of the golf courses in India, the nutrients to be used, the chemicals to be used to keep the golf course healthy, their volumes go up. Pretty much like our overeating, overwatering does the same to them. Two, we use recycled water, which is nutrient loaded. The chemical fertilizers, the need does not arise here. No wonder Karma Lakelands is the country's most eco-friendly golf course. We've been given that award by the Golf Industry Association of the country.
1.4 billion people here in this country, and this is the oasis, right? I remember the other day when we were walking, when we went for a walk, remember you pointed the bougainvillea on one side, how it was so lush and flowering, the other side it was more green leaves.
Bougainvillea especially.
Right?
You overwater it, you will get lots of green leaves, hardly any flowers. You underwater it, you have a splash of color as you see these days.
So for me, the challenge is, this is such a lovely model that you have created, almost like a template. How can you replicate this, that this becomes like a benchmark, a standard for other people to follow, which will help enable the country, the Bharat, our motherland, which we've benefited from. Because I may say I'm a citizen of the USA, but here it says made in India, right? That will not change, and I'm very proud of that, especially with all that is going on. The world's energy is here. What can you do, my friend? You've been always a change maker since your young days that I have known you always. The lottery thing, you started endorsing against, you know, all the smoking, everything. So what can you do now?
Well,
I'll challenge you this. I'm going to push you.
You know, a few months ago, we started a new department in the company, headed by our environmental initiatives chief. This is the Amplified Impact Department. Their job is to lure campuses, whether they are university campuses, corporates, schools, boarding schools, to come and see how a gated community can be responsibly performing with Mother Earth being the real guide and the space where water is conserved, recycled water is a resource and not a burden as a challenge on how to handle. Greenery, as you know, we look at sights, sounds and smells. Every aspect of the creator's creation has to be respected, and this Amplified Impact Department, with signing MOUs with people, Center for Responsible Tourism, the Indian School of Hospitality, People Baba of the Give Me Trees Trust. There's so many who've signed up with us, and they're bringing in corporates and other people to see what's being done and how to replicate. Our pride would lie in that. You know, all the good ideas we get, we don't want any kind of exclusivity on that. We want to see everybody replicate.
Yeah.
It's happening here, my brother.
So I think that is the big thing, you know, takeaway here. Now you've created something, you know, I know what it was before. This land we used to come, it was all green and forest, and you know Guruji, remember Guruji, you was born in this area, in Shikapur, and this land we used to come meditate.
Guruji, Sushil Muniji, 1.5 kilometers away is where he was born.
Yeah.
I had the unique blessings of spending so much time with him.
Oh yes,
And,
I remember that.
Little did I know that I'll end up creating such an abode where I live full time. I live here, I work here, I go to play golf here. Everything walking distance. 3 minutes walk from home is work, another 3 minutes is my golf. Do you know I play only once a day of golf?
It's so lovely, yeah.
And you know, once in about 5 days or so, I sit into an automobile. In the complex, I would cycle down to work or to say hello to the cows and goats. If I want to go horseback riding, sometimes they get the horse on my doorstep. And automobiles I hardly get into these days if I'm on the campus.
Here is a guy who loved cars, as he was young. All the fancy cars, and I'm looking at him now. He's just content and.
Now,
I think तुसी साधु बन गए हो.
देखो, now I'm bekar, no car. Actually, I'm using Dickie's car.
Yeah.
My car, she became 15-year-old. She had to be retired, and now the children, the managers show me all kinds of brochures. They got me fancy cars to test drive. I feel guilty because the car will sit and be used once in 5 days for 10-20 kilometers. That's it.
You know, the concept around the world is becoming of smart cities. Live here, work here, play here. I mean, that's what you created here.
Karma is all about that.
But an added benefit that you have all the luxuries of a healthy life because you are exposing yourself to exercise, physical fitness, mental tranquility and peace, and the most sumptuous food, all grown here.
You know, we grow our own food. Our garden landscape is less than half grass and rest of it is vegetables. And you know, the uniqueness about a vegetable patch being your garden is the birds, the bees, the butterflies. Grass will not attract them. If there's massive stoppage of vegetable supplies as happened during COVID, and you don't have fresh vegetables coming, are you going to eat your grass? I often tell this to people. We grow our own food. We have no problem. So the colors of nature, the butterflies and all, that the flowers and fruits and vegetables attract, grass doesn't. And this is all how I live. The back garden is such a splash of interesting things happening every time.
Remarkable, from the days of the golf link, Lajpat Nagar and golf links, and now here. I mean, what a transformation. I'm looking at those parts of this time, you know, as you know, this has never happened, you remember? In 1 week here, I have stepped out one day.
You didn't go to town at all.
I didn't feel like.
And when you went out to town, to a place 20 minutes away,
oh my God.
it took you an hour and 45 minutes, didn't it?
Absolutely. So why should I want to go out here? And this time, you know, this is one of those unique times that I never took a meeting to go and visit the political leaders and all, which I have to normally. I just cut off here and I feel so rested, so relaxed.
Baba, I remember when 9/11 happened, I didn't know where you were.
Yeah.
You were in Saudi Arabia with the royal family, and you've explained how you got a message from your office that one tower has come down because a plane crashed into it.
Yeah.
You immediately switched on the television and your meeting had stopped and you all were looking at the screen when the second plane came onto the second tower, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the beauty of that TED talk of yours, where you explained how these Muslim leaders reacted that such blasphemy had happened, such violence on humans had happened.
Yeah.
How you beautifully and inclusively, you didn't say so and so religion is to be blamed.
Yeah.
Bad humans represent any religion really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the way you talked about what went inside you made me cry. You know, Baba, I can't tell you, you know, what a talk you made. How you influenced world leaders to think inclusively despite such challenging times. I cannot
you know,
forget that.
that's your last speaking, brother. But we know the measure of a person's character comes out in times of adversity and difficulty. That was one such moment which actually changed things in life, the world as we know it. And I think our Guru plays a unique role. That we brought us together, that today this is here in Manesar and Shekhapur, all this area was where he was born. There's a reason. I think he had a master plan at that time. And look what you're sitting talking. But in terms of these things, one thing which I always say, never believe what you read or hear on news media. Go verify for yourself. You be the judge. And today, with all the technology and advancement and communications, you have the means. Be curious, dig in. You do that all the time here. Look at everything that you created here. Who could imagine? Honestly, even in it's Florida, right? The lovely estates where I have a home and I stayed there. I haven't seen this kind of a place here. I haven't.
Well, this has been my sadhana, my religion. It started with my first meeting and friendship with Nek Chand Saini, the creator of the Rock Garden Chandigarh. He got me started, and
he won the Padam Shri or something, right?
Oh yes, he was Padam Shri.
I remember.
And his influence has actually got me here. Also, my mother, in school, she'd tell me, go plant a tree outside the house. The whole world wants to do everything inside the four walls. Yeah. And I still remember I planted a couple of trees outside our boundary wall. And then she says, Ashwini, can you cover the 4-5 houses, abutting ones, and plant trees outside their house? But do remember, you are going to look after them. You're mother to them. You're going to water these trees and make them full grown one day. Now, that was one thing. Nek Chand coming into my life was another. He helped me plant trees in my farmhouse, the land that I had just bought, a brick kiln. And we worked hard, infertile soil. First 2 times, all trees planted died. Then we did some things. Then the third lot started to work. 6 months later, I see the trees starting to blossom. And as I saw that, a strange feeling happened. Yeah. Like you see your child grow.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of me as a tree planter to begin with. As time has gone on, I have started to look at other things, water conservation, optimum use of the world's resources, how do I avoid plastic. Can you imagine at Karma Lakelands, our narrative is not no single-use plastic, what you hear all the time. Yeah. We talk about no single-use products. Yeah. So, a lot of these things have brought the universe, the blessings, Guruji's beloved blessings. Your uncle, who's been so dear to me, was here yesterday, wasn't he? And he tells me how he used to hear me talk about growing more trees and stuff. Little did he realize that time that this Karma Lakelands magnificent resort, residences, massive apartments about to unfold to happen with Shobha developers. I mean, he was so full of blessings, and he was so moved to see this explosion of beautiful landscape and little bit of buildings around. He started to cry.
Yeah. And he's only 97.
He's 97, and his crying reminded me what I've heard. Tears of joy, bliss, blessings, gratitude. If you haven't experienced them, you're yet to taste life.
But Praji, this was because of what you did. Your magnanimous gesture, when nobody would have done that with all the financial loss you were faced with, when he asked you, Ashwini ji, Guruji had first started that with at Ahimsa Bhavan, the building that you had sponsored and taken, it was signed to you, but yet one stroke you just gave the keys, okay, whatever you say. That you led by example.
I remember the other day, a friend of mine met me in the club corridor, and he had a couple of his visitors, they'd come for lunch, and he said, oh, you know, this guy is the owner of this grand place. It was intimidating to me because a certain flash of a thought came to my mind. Despite the title deeds in our name, aren't we just passing by this planet?
Yeah.
We're still tenants, despite the title deeds. So, if we walk on this planet with this thought in mind, life becomes so beautiful, isn't it?
2 things, what you said especially. the role of parents in bringing up the child, the formative years. Mataji making you plant the trees, that became the mantra of your life, right? Look how you transformed that. And then having a clear purpose that what is it that I am going to leave when I go from this world. You very well articulated that. I mean, what a blessing. What a truly well done. I'm so proud of you, Pra.
Brother, I'll tell you a couple of things. Since you talked about Mataji and you hurt my chord inside. One, I went to Sadhguru Mansarovar, Kailash.
I remember that.
And there a thought came to my mind and I wrote a few lines with the heading from Ma Kailash to Mount Kailash in the lap of the master. That was one. Two, how many years ago? Some 30 plus years ago, my brother died in a car crash. Just 3 hours after this crushing news was given to her, she called up an older cousin, Rajesh, and tells him, Rajesh, I heard the bus driver whose bus crashed into my boy's car has been arrested by the police. Please make sure that despite the fact my boy is not coming back home tonight, this boy is somebody's son. His family must get him back tonight.
Wow.
Make sure he's released. He's not done it intentionally. That was my mother. That was the source of my value system. Two,
Wow.
you know about the trees.
Yeah.
She cited me to plant. Then, do you know, I'm sure you do, that we have a little club of 5-6 people.
Yes, we went to pay respect, no?
Called
On
the
our
6
anniversary.
Feet Under Club.
Yeah.
5 of us have chosen to go from soil to soil smokelessly, like Mother did.
Yeah.
18 months ago or so, she passed away. We decided that she goes through burial because we don't want combustion when we do the rituals, the final rites, and so many of us are part of that club.
I mean, you described that very well. What is 6 feet?
Well, we call ourselves the 6 Feet Under Club. How you dealing with us when we pop? None of us is in a hurry to go on.
Yeah.
From soil to soil smokelessly.
Soil to soil smokelessly, and leaving a legacy for others to cherish and emulate. So children are getting lovely values, a value and purpose-driven life. You know, I started a Center for Responsible Leadership. I serve as the Secretary General of the World Council of Religious Leaders, which is born at the United Nations Millennium Summit. But of late, you talked about the 9/11 incident. Yes, I was sitting in Saudi Arabia and saw that, and I saw the reaction of Muslim leaders. The other turning point in the global history, especially, was January 6th. Okay, it's known as January 6th, when rioters went and defiled the Capitol. That to me is a symbol of democracy of the entire world, not just for the United States of America. Because why? That's the world's oldest democracy. India is the world's largest democracy, right? That symbol shook everybody's belief. And so and our country got so divided in the US, it's become toxic, really toxic. And what happens, the US impacts the world, right? Okay, we know that Modi ji has transformed Bharat into such a way that today India can play an equal role, whether it's Russia, China. China is a little more difficult, but the US as major powers, right? And here I see the energy here in India, and you are creating a unique example, a model here, with all that you are launching and building here. But for me, what next, brother? Where is your journey going to take you? Do you have some vision for where you would like to be?
I'm delighted to be here at Karma Lakelands, work here, play here, live here, create a replicable model for others to see, be a conducting person, a tour guide to the various colleges, schools, campus people. The other day, Aisha Volvo company came in, Tiva company, an Israeli
pharmaceutical giant.
They have, I don't know how many, 7 factories in India. Aisha Volvo, again, more than 7 factories. so many ideas they've taken from us. They're going to create the Devakar forests in each of their factories. And we looked at those 14 factories that are committed to us and the number of trees based on the acreages they have under their belt. Looks like 1 million trees coming. Just the power of visualizing after seeing what they have here at Karma Nicholas. I'm not doing any other business. I'm retired outside of this 270-acre Karma Nicholas campus. Children may want to do things, that's their problem. I'm done, but I want to see others replicate what we have done. I don't call ourselves leaders. There's more that we have still got to explore. Can I share with you, Shobha Developers, 4 million square feet, housing, massive $1 billion plus project. What's exciting me? The employee housing, 700 workers, homes, for just 6 years of the construction period. I'm more excited about creating that as a model village where people will live responsibly, total solar panels, recycled water they'll generate, no litter, talk in soft tones, morning starts with communal prayers, and so many other things. The children of these workers will be kept in top attention through the crash education. This model village is exciting me more than the $1 billion project.
Sure, I know you. I'm not surprised with that. And I can see that's what I mean, your legacy, the greatest joy. I mean, one is always confronted with the quality of life, the purpose of life. It seems you have a perfect balance of that. I wish everybody else can benefit and have that kind of an opportunity. Give them an opportunity to see they can achieve their fullest potential. That's what I like to see in the children and our children's children. And indeed, I think, create that kind of a model here, or at least impetus or something to inspirational, that here, come here, see. We have challenges in life. Everybody does. Nobody is exempt. But how is it that you can create that balance that irrespective of the challenge you have, you are equipped inside. You are strong inside, like you have. All the challenges that you have faced in life was one such opportunity. But I was mad. You know that. I was so upset. You were calm here. You were totally calm.
I tell you, those 3 weeks, I really scaled up my yoga, my meditation, my morning chanting. I did. I came out better, not bitter.
That's a great line. Better, not bitter. Yeah. For me, okay, planting trees. What can you do which can help India, Bharat? We are the rising global superpower. But we also be responsible and create an environment where we are caring and nurturing each other, not competing with each other, supporting each other, not trying to exploit each other. You can do that, Pra.
Symbiosis. If the whole world worked in a symbiotic relationship, would it not be beautiful?
Yeah.
The neighboring housing community, the apartments, the recycled water comes here, irrigates the forest floors, the plant life is performing better than fresh water irrigation would have done, the oxygen goes back to them. This is one kind of symbiosis. The other, as Sadhguru says, a tree is half your lung.
Yeah. True.
The exhalation of the tree is your inhalation, and your inhalation comes from the tree's exhalation. I have to repeat. The tree's exhalation is your inhalation. The tree's inhalation is your exhalation.
Yeah.
And this is another symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
So, all communities, all people, all religions, the entire Creator's creation, if it works in partnership, in symbiosis, this world will be a more beautiful, more happier place to live in.
Just yesterday when we were walking and you saw that one curve on the golf course, this place, and you said, yes, we need to expand this, but if there's any tree coming, don't expand it there. The tree must stay.
Well, the road needs to expand, and there were a couple of trees which were coming on the way. So we decided to include those trees into the road rather than cutting the tree to make the road as wide it is. The road is wide, but at certain points the tree is a part of the road.
That's become part of your DNA. The trees are so important to life. I wish more people in India maybe start a project, start something. One thing which I see, people get intimidated. The world is large. We cannot do. What can we do? The idea is simple. Each one reach one. Start a project. Each one influence one more person to plant a tree, and let it replicate into.
Absolutely.
I hope you can initiate that. That's been your dream.
Maybe some environmental groups, an environmental university, they do their courses, bring their students here for 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Like in one visit, in a day, all that we put together in 40 years of work cannot be shared, cannot be planted into their minds. Now, Dicky, our environmental chief, she's the Eco Initiatives director in the company. She's at times up 6 a.m. Oh, my cow was unwell. I have to go check her out. That connection, not just with other humans, but other animals. That's the beauty of this place. Now, people have to come and stay here for a while. As far as I'm concerned, I joke. I often say that behind every successful man, there's a woman pushing him forward or surprised. Whichever way you take it.
No, but lead by example. Not just order around and say, and you follow a different set of values. That is a unique order. I think for me, I have learned so much more. I'm so glad that, even though my schedule was such, I was going to go back from Hyderabad after I came for the meetings. But I just wanted to see my brother. So I came here for a week, and this time I have learned so much more because I just stayed here, didn't go out anywhere.
Well, that you saying, as far as I'm saying, and looking at myself, I promise to be a more responsible leader.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what we say about a responsible leadership, right?
You have to share.
It actually, okay, I'll share it.
And those 3 points you shared with the other corporate.
Okay, that's right. You asked me to suddenly put me up to speak.
No, those 3 points are very important.
Okay, one is, in my talk here when I come for the meeting in Hyderabad, the president, the vice president, they had about 1 million people go through in 3 days. So my talk there, and I said, I think what is most important in life is finding out what is the purpose of your life. So I shared this with the Swami who created the Statue of Equality. And he turned it to me and he says, what is the purpose of your life? I said, Swami, serving. He said, why only serving? He's saying, add something else to it. Sharing. Very important. So I turned to Swamiji. I said, Swamiji, why not add a third one, please? And he said, third is sacrifice. So learn to share. Have the attitude of serving. And oftentimes in life we are required to sacrifice. Be bold. Do that. So I learned that as the purpose of life. Let everybody determine what purpose they want to choose, what they want to follow. Second, for responsible leadership, I always say, we don't want to be the judge to see if you're a responsible leader. You judge for yourself. Answer these questions. Remember, everything in the world is so complicated. We want to simplify it. So he said 3 questions. Do you make decisions based on the present or the future? Think about it. Because you're a corporate guy. Oftentimes there are so many pressures. So how often do you have to compromise on making decisions for the present and not the future? It's challenging. It's a process. You get there. Second, are those decisions based on conviction or convenience? For a corporate guy, they have to, CEO, you are expected to report quarterly or half yearly or annual results. And that sometimes influences your thinking. So how often do you compromise that? What can you do to act more out of conviction than convenience? You have implemented that very successfully here, right? You see that. You didn't bother about a profit motive. You were resilient, you held on, and look what has created today. Manifold, right? Third, are those decisions constructive or destructive? And you decide for yourself. If not, get on the process. See what you're going to do.
these are three guiding principles that every leader
Yeah.
should follow religiously. And if they do, this world
Yeah.
will be a far more beautiful place for you and me and our generations next.
You know, you and me can be responsible for what we do. Let us start and let it replicate. Let others see and follow the example or choose their own path. But what a blessing to be here. I can now go back from here feeling nostalgic about all that we have shared this week. And you know that there's nobody closer to me in the world than you. And I feel so proud of my younger brother that I get emotional as I have to say goodbye today and go back to America. But I'll come back again soon. I know that.
We need your guidance, and maybe we signing something up today together,
Yeah.
because we have to work together towards tomorrow,
Yeah.
and we do make a little difference, more the merrier.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us think of the day when we are no more. How will people remember us? Are we happy with that? If not, let's start doing things which hopefully can leave a little imprint on the world.
Completely with you.
Love you, brother. Thank you. God bless. Yeah, many things flowed today. Yeah. See how it happens spontaneously.